Welcome to this screencast. This one is meant to introduce you to My Stat Lab, which is going to be a tool that all MGMT 650 students will use. When you have logged in, please, for the first time at least, double check that your name appears here, that it says UMUC MGMT 650 Fall 2014, and it has the correct section here, and it may or may not have your professor's name. Now this interface or this homepage has several tabs and hyperlinks. What I want to spend this video on in reviewing question 1 for week 2 is to show you some of the little things that you would eventually figure out, but you are better served if you are told these things from the onset. Now the tabs on the left here will take you into the assessment and teaching components. I would start with clicking on homework or quiz and test. Let's go with homework. What that will do, that will take you to the tab that has the homework, and you are only going to be able to see the homework for the week that's due, the current and active homework. Now also in terms of teaching and assessment, quizzes and tests are located here under that tab. You have pre-test and you have review test. Once you hit this pre-test, it will ask you if you're ready to start, and then the question will populate and you would select the response that you think fits and then move on to the next question. If for whatever reason you are forced to leave the session, obviously we do not want to hit submit test, but we just want to close and leave the page. Now let's look at the homework, because I do want to highlight a couple of things. When you open the homework session, it will show you what week, when it's due, what the weighting is, the number of times you can complete each question. Now, importantly, please get in the habit of not opening a question unless you have enough time and you have done enough preparation to be able to complete that. And one of the things that how will you know that? If you are having some difficulties with a part of the chapter, but you understand the rest, if you hover over the question, it shows you what part of what chapter it's related to. So you do want to utilize that if you need to. If you don't need that, then you can ignore that tip. It has a suggested study plan, which once you start to use My Stat Lab more, it gathers data on your progress and it gives you some exercises based on your strengths and weaknesses. So if we get back into week 2, let's say we're ready to do question 1. So you hit question 1, it launches question 1. Now importantly, the tabs on the right, this is often something that students miss. This is the powerhouse behind My Stat Lab. What this offers is a whole host of assistance. If you need help in solving this, you click on that. It will literally take you through a step-by-step instruction for a similar type of question. You can also do view an example. If you view an example, it literally takes you through the solution step by step. It has, this particular question has 15 parts, so you can go through as slowly as you wish to make sure you are understanding everything. and this is there for most questions. So this doesn't affect your ability to do, your score on the question in any way. It is meant to be a teaching tool to literally prep you for the question that is going to be assessed. And if you notice that I now have an X beside that, which shows that I have one incorrect attempt. So if you click on the help me solve this problem, please recognize that that counts as one of your attempts. So if I were you, I would want to use the view an example, which doesn't have that impact. Let's hop over to question number 2. If you view an example, you can go through this without any consequences, but once you hit help me solve this problem, then it counts as one of your attempts. So please avoid that unless you are struggling and you are making a calculated and deliberate decision to trade one attempt for getting to completion. Other little tips, there's a tab that is called video. If you launch that, it takes you to the chapter and it has a video which is produced and oftentimes presented by one of the authors of the text. I would absolutely invest the time to listen to Paul and his team as they present things using a different method, and certainly if you learn by listening, then this is going to be great, and this will help to augment the fact that this may be a course partially or wholly delivered online. So that's going to help for sure. If you are interested in that, please utilize it. If you want to see, okay, I need to do some more research in the text, if you click on textbook, it takes you to the relevant portion of the text and you can make references more quickly than probably going to hunt for and by yourself. So that's another one of the tools that is offered. The other tabs that are here, StatCrunch is a built-in data processing tool that is available with the program. We encourage students to utilize Excel and the add-ins that Excel offers, and you're going to be learning about those in another video. StatCrunch is really, the use of StatCrunch is really, I would say, last resort. It's not the first choice, and the main reason for that is beyond the course. StatCrunch is less available and it's just not as utilized in the real world. So the emphasis is for us to use Excel, which you are going to have upon graduating from this program. So we want to teach it using that. Tech help has to do with getting technical help if you're having problems with My Stat Lab. Ask My Instructor is an option to get questions directly to your instructor. I would suggest that you use email or Leo to do that. It's going to be more efficient than this has been in the past. And print is obviously if you want to print the question, if you like to have something physical in your hand to hold on to, or if you have a long train ride and you want to have sheets of paper to read through. So that's essentially some of the tips. Now let's look back at question number 1. Question number 1, if you look at view an example, this is a qualitative type question, and the example that's solved here presents all the possible scenarios. So once you've read through this, you should be in a very good position to be able to complete question 1. Not being a quantitative type question, this is as much of a guide that we will provide, but I think it gives you enough direction for you to successfully complete question 1 for week 1. And I hope that this will help. And if you have any questions on my stat lab or anything else, please feel free to reach out to your tutor. Thank you for watching. It's been a little long, but I wanted to make sure you had this information from the onset. Thanks.